Okay, we're going to begin. This is, I'm going to be beginning with our second interview today, but let me set the record. My name is Susan Kahlo, and today's date is March 23rd, 2023, and we are still in the lovely home of Brigadier General Touy Tiravong in Chantilly, Virginia, doing this interview. And like I said, we've been talking on the telephone, so you and I have had multiple conversations, but
yes.
It's wonderful to be here to meet you in person. And thank you for driving down from Delaware, a little hop, skip, and a jump from Delaware down here. So we are conducting this interview on behalf, these will be contributed to the Library of Congress, to the Veterans History Project, and your story will become part of that forever, and you can always add to it after I submit this to them. So I'll give you more information on that. So if we could, just to begin, could you first just give your name and spell your name for us?
I am Touy Tiravong, Touy Tiravong, working for the S.G.U in military region number 3 and assistant to GM31 John Hurd. Call sign was Montana.
Okay.
And then later switched to Jim Barber. Call sign was Indians. Jim was American Indians.
Okay. And I guess we need to clarify also that we're referring to the secret war in Laos. That's where you were.
Yes.
During the Vietnam War period.
Right.
So this is something that putting some new information on the record. And where were you born? Though I have meant to ask that.
I was born in the suburb of Savannakhet, like 50 kilometers away from Savannakhet, and grow up at Savannakhet, going to school there, and then joined the army there, and then.
So were you in the Army before you got involved with the S.G.U?
Yes.
Okay.
I was in the Army there, and then before I joined the secret war in Laos, I was sending to the U.S. for leadership training class number 8. Like what you can see here, this is my picture class.
Can you point to yourself?
Well, I'm up here somewhere, number 3 from the left.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And where was this again?
This was at Fort Knox, Kentucky, 1969-70. That was class number 8. You guys probably know, like Maid Ratana, it's under here, who was my roommate. We were like a rank number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
Yes.
So how long were you there? How long was your training?
We were there for a year. We had like English training. You want to ask that too?
Yeah.
English training at Lackland Air Force Base first, and then after that, at Lackland Air Force Base, we came to Fort Knox, Kentucky for like leadership training.
How was that? That was your first time in the United States?
Yes, that was my first time.
Can you remember how you felt, or what was?
It was like a super life in the U.S.
Okay. It was exciting for somebody young.
Yes.
You made good friends?
Yes, I was the youngest one in the class too.
Oh.
Yes.
But you were the second. You were still ranked second in your class?
Yes, in terms of the English training, like language class, I was number 2. Sumit was number 1, Maid Ratana, he was number 1 in the class. And then later he became like a liaison officer, and then became, and also he took a ranger training at Fort been in Georgia also, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, tell us then after you came back from the U.S.
Okay, right after the training in the U.S., I went to my hometown in Savannakhet and got a job as an assistant operation officer, which like my duty was like an interpreter, an FAG, a liaison officer,
And what was it? What
kicker.
is an FAG? Just for
A forward air guide.
Okay.
Not what you think like a fag.
Okay. All right, I understand. Let me just quickly ask, when you flew to the US and back, what kind of plane? Were you on a military? How did you get back and forth?
It was on fly to the US. It was on the commercial airline, 747. I got really bad air sick.
Okay, but was it a Thai plane or an American?
No, it was
plane?
American
It was
plane.
American commercial airline.
Yeah, I think it was United Airlines.
Okay.
Flew from Bangkok. And then flew back. It was like, of course, from San Francisco to Bangkok and then to Vientiane.
But that was exciting.
Yes.
For somebody, a young person.
Yes.
So then what happened? So you were a forward air control.
Yes, I was
interpreter?
jumped right into like that dangerous job. Every day in the front line, every day training. Like I would do like go up in the front line every day and stay with them all day and then come back to the real life to write up a report if the American advisor was not there. I would be the person that would write up like a full report of the day.
Oh, do you remember names of any of your advisors?
Okay, my first advisor was John Hurt, S.U.R.D. And his call sign was Montana. I don't know if he's still alive or he's gone.
I think he is alive. We think we're.
And then later, after John, it was Indians, the Jim Barber, and his call sign was Indians. Indians was the American Indian. And we worked together well. He sometimes do the commando, small team too.
And when you flew, what kind of planes were you in, or what was that like?
Flying like a daily fly in and out. That would be like a Bell helicopter. If and then sometimes I will go in with like if there is airstrip, then I will go in with like a Twin Otters or Porters. Most of the time will be like a Bell helicopter. Talking about Longchang. We'll go in on the helicopter, then out with helicopter.
And what region were you? Were you in one region the whole time?
I start with MR3, like military region 3. That start with like 4 GMs there. GM number 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, which Carl was one of the GM commander that in MR3. Colonel Carl was I think he was GM 32 commander at one time.
So what was it like when you were flying? Can you tell a little?
Fly on the enemy location, it was like, to me it was like fun. Just like a live movie. You know, you watch the fast movers, jets, bomb the enemy location, it was like a movie. But again, that was young age. I don't have family. I don't talk to my parents. They don't have telephone, no cell phone, no telephone. So no communication for a long time before I go home, like 3 months in the front line at Longchang.
It was just
It was
exciting.
fun.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
And then, who were some of the best T-28 pilots? Were you in the
T-28 pilots, the best one in Seven Arcade and in Longchang was P Ban. P, Papa. Ban is B-A-N-E. He was my good friend from primary school also.
Oh.
We reconnect in Longchang and we were like a good friend. We would go out together. We would go back to Vientiane and then spend so many nights together out on weekend.
So did the Americans train him to fly, to be a pilot?
Yes, he
Or-
was he had a training at Udon Air Base. I think it was like, they call Tango 08.
Oh.
That was Tango standing for Thai.
Huh.
And he was the top crazy fighter
That's great.
among T-28 pilots.
Have you kept in touch with any of the pilots?
Yeah, I still have contact with so many good friends, and they are now. I have contact with some of the people at some friends at Texas, and they still talk. When we talk about like flying in Longchang, it seems like they were having fun. They want to talk and talk.
Were you when you were in the flying? Were you ever shot at?
One time we got shot, and I got shot. I was flying backseater of P-Ban and Palan. That's where we had like we went to primary school together, so we know every corner of that city. Yeah.
So you were buddies. And you
Yes,
got
very
to-
buddy. But he died at Iowa of like, I think it was heart attack. But he was wearing like a chest waders. He maybe went into the deep pocket of water and then sunk.
This was in Laos during.
No,
Oh,
this
he-
is
in the United States.
in the U.S.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And he was the kind of person that would drink a lot too.
That's not a good combination sometimes. Were you at, were some of the battles that you remembered?
Yeah, I was up in the like a Skyline War with Eli, Supermax. The Supermax, Super Crazy Max, I remember that. Up in the Skyline, we fought hand-to-hand combat.
Wow.
Yes. Eli was not supposed to go to the front line with us. He broke the rule. This is for Eli though.
Yeah, he's proud of that.
Yes.
How were you able to with battling with the Viet Cong? Didn't they outnumber you? How was?
Most of the time they outnumber us, but the infantry guys supposed to fight on foot. But the S.G.U don't do that. We flew in, like we would get on that Jolly Green, CH-53, and then they fly into on top of them, then land on top of them, then we just kill them.
So who thought of doing that? I mean, was that just the way you did it, or?
This is the way that the S.G.U do the war. We don't walk, we just fly in and then jump in and fight the war. Thank you, sir.
So that gave you an advantage.
Yes, of course.
You think that made a difference?
Right. So many locations that they think, okay, the S.G.U will come in this way. We know that we will put a big group of NVA right here, and they will come up here and we kill them all. It's not like that. We will flew in with on CH-53 and landed behind the enemy and then kill them.
And then go back.
And then go back.
Wow.
Yes. So many people don't know about the war that the S.G.U do. We fly in, then we kill them all and come home alone.
So that was a successful
Yes,
tactic.
yes.
The enemy did, the Viet Cong did, they just couldn't prepare for
No,
that?
they were not prepared for that, like jump in, fly in, and then destroy them and come home. Many people don't know that.
No.
It's just like a special war that they do. When they capture Osama Laden, they use helicopter to go in, but here we use the CH-53, big Jolly Green in.
And then who was piloting those?
Those were like flew by American Air Force.
Did you get to know any of the American pilots, or did you never know who they were?
No, we don't know anybody. The person that I have contact these days, he was Ray Roddy. He was the crew chief on that Moonbeam. He wrote the book Circles the Sky. He was the one that wrote the book.
What was it called? Circle?
Circles the Sky, I think right behind you there. Right there in that book. I read it every day, still reading it. Yeah, that's it. Now there's like one location that we had hard time to take over, it was the top of the mountain near Long Chang, because there was one way in, one way out. You can go, you cannot, there is no other way in. And then the enemy already set up their gun, and then you just walk into the gun range and they kill you all. And one day, I was in a platoon, I was kind of platoon leader in, then one of the company, like almost, the whole platoon was almost destroyed. It was like a company of BG Battalion Guerrilla Unit 308, which later a commander got killed. Major S.G.U got killed in the front line in Long Chang.
Who was it that got killed?
S.G.U, S-Y-V-A-T. He was the commander of Battalion Guerrilla Unit 308.
What was Moonbeam?
Moonbeam. Moonbeam is the C-130 airplane equipped with gun, all kind of heavy duty guns, like a 105 and a 75, and it's like a headquarters up in the air. When you talk to them, they will come and they will give you fire support, or they will come to you with giving them you like a light, like a. It was like a Moonbeam and Starlight. There was Alley Cat. There was like a Hillsborough.
So Long Ting, were you involved with that?
Yeah, that was in Long Cheng. That Skyline one was in Long Cheng, by the way. It's right up next to the Longcheng airstrip. They can watch you from the top of the mountain. If you are on the ground on the airport, any plane that fly in and fly out, the enemy can shoot at you right on your wing.
But how were you able to dominate, or how were you able to defeat them?
So they don't really come into the city of Longcheng. They just stay up in the Skyline Ridge and then fire the 82 millimeter in, or 85 millimeter in, or 130. That was me there to see that. I give myself, or American
You can hold it up if you want.
CIA, give me that Red Eagles call sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was working with the GM31
Oh.
as GM31 interpreter, fag, supply officer. I do everything. They pay me well, so I said, okay, I will work for you.
So I know when we were talking earlier, I was asking you like how was food gotten out to the troops and on the ground?
Okay, how food gets to the ground? Food came from the sky, which nobody knows about sky. What is sky? Sky is sky, but we call it like the sky is the CIA, like supply things, money, food, ammunition, and all that. They are like from the sky. Longcheng would call, say, Skyline 1, Skyline 2. This is the name of the area and the main office was like a sky office. I was trapped in sky office one time in 71.
Why?
Because my first week up there, the office was like a huge combination to open and close. You need to know the combination to open the door. The entrance door was like a steel door, like an inch thick, bulletproof. And then the building was like a reinforced concrete building. I was writing a report and then there was incoming. So everybody took off. The number 3 guy, Jerry Daniels, the hog, said, "Touy, you just die there, stay there. You don't go anywhere." He won't give me the combination to the door. Well, I was lucky enough to get out.
Why did he do that?
Because it's a rule that he cannot give the combination to the door.
Oh.
It's so secret. That was back in the sky office in Longcheng, 20 alternates. This was Jerry, you are done, buddy, you're gone. I'm still here. He died while working with the American Embassy in Bangkok.
Oh. So how did you get out?
I was, after they took over the country, I was lucky enough, I didn't go to the re-education camp. So I was like working for one of his buddy, General Tao Lee, as an agent, counter agent to, and then I had a truck, I was driving my taxi as a cover.
Oh.
And I got out to Thailand in 1978. Then I was working in the American Embassy refugee section as interpreter for John Tucker.
But you got out, so you...
I got out
in 78?
In 78 with my underground people, with the and then I got out to Thailand, and then I got my wife out 3 months later. Then we came to Ubon refugee camp in '77.
So you did go to a re-education camp?
No, I did
all?
not. Uh-uh.
So, but you were hiding at how you?
I was hiding. My car was like a taxi driver.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And became an agent for General Tao Li.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
Then I was saved in the U.S. now after September '78. I'm now working at retire and go back to work as a lab supervisor, lab technician at University of Delaware Composite Center.
That's where you're still working?
I'm still working there.
Did you go to school? Did you come here and did you
Yes,
go to?
I took classes. I went to school at UD.
Okay, wonderful. And then do you have children?
I have 3 children, 3 boys, age 50, 49, 47.
Do they all live in Delaware?
Yes. No, one at Canada, 2 at Delaware. One works as an IT for some company at like a television company.
And so let's go back. I was when we were talking about the Battle of Skyline Ridge, right? So that was what region was that in?
MR2 with General Wang Pao. Wang Pao, General Wang Pao didn't have enough people to fight, so they need us. They need MR3 S.G.U. So there were GM30 and 31. 30 was with Eli Chavez, I think it was Supermax. And then GM31 was Jim Barber and Touy. And Jim Barber was our GM31 advisor. So we fought that Skyline 1 or Ridge Line on that pool next to Longcheng Airport.
So do you have any idea how long were you involved in that conflict?
I was involved in that from 70 to 69, 70 to 73 to the end of the war. I mainly spent my 3 years up in the front line every day.
So the MR, what was the other thing? There were the Hmong.
The Hmong was in the MR2, military region number 2. That was in the Longcheng.
So were they the majority that defended or fought in Skyline Ridge? Were they?
No, there were so many area that we fought. It was like up in PDJ, Plan of Jar. We fought there too. We fought up at Lima Site 32. That was in Buam Long. That was, and then GM32 got killed there too. Major Kai, I think Kai Pom Suwan. He got killed in Lad San. I think in 1972, I believe. There was high-ranking officer that got killed in front line. Kai and Siwat.
Did you have a lot of casualties?
Yes, every time we go up to Longcheng or to Bom Long area, we would go like infield, say 400 people. Outfield back home will be like 200 people. Maybe 100 of those like killed or 100 wounded in the hospital.
Was there a hospital? Where was the hospital?
No, mostly the hospital will be back in in Savanakhet area when send our people back to Savanakhet. Where Jimmy worked, it was like our own, so that was our training center too. It was Lima Site 235. Jimmy works there as an officer, like a supply officer. The whole family, I think, they were doing that. They supply food to the S.G.Us in Lima Site 235.
And how did were they needing to recruit? How did they get more?
Now, recruiting people is easy because of that money. There was no job, nothing. So the people in the field, they don't have money, so they volunteer in to join the S.G.U. So, and then S.G.U. paid like 6,500 kip in the rear line, but they will get double that up in the front line, so like a 12,000 kip up in the front line. So that's why people, S.G.U. don't need to recruit people in to be the S.G.U. They will come in, they will volunteer in to be in the S.G.U.
Okay.
But their ages will be like from 14, 15, 16, 17 and up. But most of the commanders, like they were like from Royal Army. Those are like the person that like a lead, like a platoon leader, company commander, or the battalion commander. Like he was in battalion commanders for like many years. General Suchai was. It was like a combined. It was the mix of S.G.U. and the Royal Laos Army. As far as training, S.G.U. have their own training center, like in Savanakhet, we call Whiskey Tree. It was run by Nick Zapata, American advisor. And then at Lima's 235, it was like run by Mr. Dog. I don't know his real name. These are like a secret name.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you ever bring back prisoners or capture?
Well, no,
Never know.
most of the time, the S.G.U. we have our own, like a capture team. There will be like a 30 people team. They will go out and dress up like an NVA, or everything like a real Vietnamese. Then we would go out and capture the Vietnamese. We don't do that. We just go in we are like 1,000 people. We go and take over, like for example, take over Salapukun during 1972. So we went in big, like 1,000 people went in, and then take over the Salapukun area, which like in the military region 5. They don't have fight unit there. They asked for help from MR3. So we came just for a month. When mission accomplished, then we went back to Lima MR3 region in about a month.
So was that a different, like, the people that did like road watch or
Oh yeah, the road watching team, like General Suchai said, it started with like 6 people. CIA group recruit 30 brand new officer from the reserve training, and then make them like a team leader. They would go out like different assigned, like a road watching team, destroy team, recon team, and then like so many different things. But it's like a small group of people, 3 to 12 people.
So were they, when they went out on an assignment like that, and then they would come back and get paid, right?
Yes.
How would the people paying them know that they did what they said they were doing? How?
Like so many those people, they go in and they destroy the trucks and then ammunition dump or something like that, but they got real good pay. You gotta show them, like you go with camera, you take any truck that you destroy, you have to show them picture. No picture, no money. No proof, no money. Later they learn like the fake was fraud on the S.G.U also, because the money was so good. If you kill a truck, then you get this much money. You kill a tank, then you get this much money.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one time the Bear GM30 killed or captured and T-34 in Thailand area. So the company was treated really good with beers and then meat and then vacations. Mm-hmm. And the company commander got really good pay for that also.
So would it be a CIA person that would pay them? Who paid? Who did the money?
The money man would be like the CIA person. Mm-hmm. But in Nasing headquarters we have Mr. Kip. The Kip was like a money currency in Laos. Uh-huh. So we give him a name as Mr. Kip. Kip will pay that, but mostly the advisor to the commando or road watching team will pay his own team members, but money came from the sky, like I said, from Mr. Kip. Kip give money to Kimoto. Kimoto will pay his platoon. Mm-hmm. Will pay his man. This is money from the sky. Again, it's CIA money.
Did they ever not pay? Would there be situations where the money guy didn't feel they did what they said?
If they don't do a right job, then they will get paid, but not as much as they're supposed to. If you don't have proof, then the money is less. If you have proof by yourself or you said somebody will get a proof at the location, either from the airplane or from somewhere, somebody will get proof.
Well, that gets a little complicated, difficult.
Yes.
And because even having a camera to take pictures.
Small team will come out with camera. Uh-huh. The road watching team, the recon team, any of those people, they will go out with camera, always with like maybe 3 or 4 cameras. Somebody will have to take a picture.
Do you have any idea how long they would stay out when they went into the...
So many people, they have like a month stay in the front line, then they will come back. Or depend on their advisor. If the advisor said, okay, return home, guy, then they will pack up and then there will be helicopter to pick them up. So it's location, say, okay, we are going to meet at this location and send you an airplane, helicopter to pick you up.
Mm-hmm. How was the terrain? I mean, was it jungle in where they went?
The terrain in MR3, military region 3, it was so dense and thick forest. unlike the MR2, Longcheng area was mountainous. You cannot you cannot move, you cannot walk from this location to that mountain. It's so hard. But in the south, it was like a flat area. You can walk whole night, whole day.
So did the S.G.U. that were like the Royal Lao, the ones who were from the lowland, did they have difficulty when they went to the mountains?
So again, up there, we go in by helicopter. We go in and then stay with one location, or it depends on like the order. If they said, okay, you go there, you attack, you do that, and then you do this, then we go, they walk. Of course, the lowland people will have a hard time climbing up the mountain. And then, but it depends, you know, you said you have to go, then you go. You have to walk up the mountain, then you walk up the mountain.
Follow orders.
Yes, follow orders.
That was, what about the families? What was going on to the women and children, people that were on their farms or in their homes all during this time in Laos?
They just live their life. They don't, you know, if the husband is on the front line, they just wait for the husband to come back with money after 3 months. That's a typical operation will last like 3 months, after 3 months and problems.
And they go
If you
home
don't-
and then they go back
Yeah.
to work?
If you don't pay them in 3 months, if you don't get them back in 3 months, they will revolt somehow. They will say, okay, no pay, no fight.
And then, and the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese did not bother the civilians in Laos? If
Not
they
really.
were staying on their home?
Not really, unless if you pretend or you become their enemy, they will fight you and kill you. But mainly they wouldn't go for like a military target. They don't go for civilians, no,
But they'll go in the village
no.
to get food and rest?
Not, they will pack their rice, they will pack on their stuff on their own, walk for many days.
So there weren't cases like where the Viet Cong would pay the Lao if they would like turn in a S.G.U. or no?
Mm-mm. They don't know that. I don't think that they have money to pay. It's not like money from the sky like us.
Okay. I just wondered how that sometimes works. You can.
Don't work, they fight based on their belief, you know, they just fight. Us is like, okay, we fight. We get paid, we fight. We don't get paid, we don't fight. Sometime.
That's interesting. Yeah. And then were you ever involved in any of the recovery of fault pilots that crashed or?
I think I was doing that one time up in Longcheng area. I didn't know. I think, okay, the advisor said, Touy, let's go. Get on the plane and go. I was like, it was on helicopter, you know, land and I want you to run up there and then talk to those people and they see anything, they hear anything. I did that, but there was no luck. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anything. During that time, there is not much. It was the person that I know. He was Lao pilot, flew for Air Continental. Air Continentals became Air America, I think, later.
Oh, Continental.
Yes. And then he was, I think he hit bad weather. The weather was 0, he hit the, I think accident, he hit the mountain and crashed. Was Prince Warada Petsarat. He was from the north. He was from his city. Yeah.
Did you ever run? Were you ever engaged with the Viet Cong or the North Vietnamese?
Fight. Very often.
Oh.
Yeah, because the frontline guy, if you go and you fight, you look for trouble, you will see trouble. If you know that their location, they will, if you say, okay, let's go and hit them.
Did you feel better prepared or with your weapon?
See, so many times I think if we go, like I said, at one location, one way in, one way out. When always good target for them to practice, because we can't go, we cannot go from that left, from the right, because up the mountain is one way in. That was in the Long Cheng area.
So what do you think made the difference? Why were you able to escape being harmed? Were you just smart?
Smart and lucky, I guess. I don't really I was kind of lucky and smart.
Were you ever scared?
Not really. Young guy, don't.
You're
Fearless.
yes.
Fearless. No family. Never. Say, if the boss said you go, and I would go.
So what? I do want to hear. We can talk about your being back in Delaware, but since I will be sharing these interviews for people who don't know about anything about Laos, and there are books out there, but it's hard to know which ones to read. But what's something? Is there anything that you have come across that you feel specifically should be emphasized, that you'd like to emphasize, that for someone to know, like another Vietnam vet that was in Vietnam but doesn't know what happened, and they don't really know, what do you think are the most important things for someone to know about the secret war in Laos?
I think that secret war in Laos is not so many people in the U.S. knows about it. I went out and I talked to one high school group of people about this. They said, we don't know, even our father would know about that war. It's so secret. There was supposed not to have any American in Laos ever fight in Laos. But I say this is so secret. People don't know about it. Only one place that they know is in Vietnam. When we fought with that, shoulder to shoulder with American in that Lamson 719, that was during September 1971, that was Lamson operation. That was fought in heavy fight in South Vietnam, in the border of Laos also.
Yeah, I mean there are some books, and there's some videos and things about the secret war, but it doesn't talk a lot about the Royal Lao Army or the Lowland Lao.
Right.
So.
But like I said, so many of those people, Royal Lao Army and S.G.U, it was like a mix. The commanders were mostly the Royal Lao Army, or some of the real S.G.U, they went after many years with the S.G.U, they would also become a company commander, also battalion commander also, not just but most of them are from the Royal Lao Army.
So, since you've been back in the United States, are you a member of any veteran groups, or do you interact with any other veterans?
Not really, I did not. And then Colonel Cow tried to recruit me long time ago. I said, I don't have time. I'm so busy with work and I'm so busy with my family. I tried to raise my family, so I don't have time for to work with you. So I'm sorry. So after that one invitation, he had enough of me, and he just said, we just no communication. So, and then I think we still talk online.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
a good guy.
I'm glad you're busy. I'm glad you're busy, and I think, and you're busy with your family and your children. Your kids went to college as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you're proud of that. So I think that's wonderful, and I'll go back and be able to share this with the S.G.U.
Yes.
community down in Georgia, and we'll see, what will come of it. But if there's anything else that you'd like to say, just know one day your grandchildren can listen to you.
Anytime you have questions, anytime you want to talk about the S.G.U, I think I consider myself as an expert on S.G.U. So
I
call
believe
me
that. I believe
or
that.
email me, we can talk.
Okay, I appreciate that. I will. It'll be good
Yeah.
to know, because unfortunately we're losing a lot of people.
Okay, yes.
And like you said, there were people at different levels, that didn't have the same perspective and experience that you have. So you're able to fill in a lot of information, which is wonderful. And I think I hope that you pass that on in your family too, that they know.
Okay.
But
Thank
but
you.
thank you. I will be in touch.
Thank you.
I hope to come back again and get to
เมื่อนี้
visit.
เป็นวันที่23มีนาเป็นวันกำเนิดของกองทัพลาวขออวยพรแก่ทุกท่านจงมีอยู่ดีมีแรงมีสุขภาพแข็งแรงมั่นยืนโชคดีเด้อบายบาย
So maybe Eli Chavez will hear this at
Yes.
some point.
Yes. He live and be happy. We talk and we talk. I was riding to my fishing trip for 2 hours. We talk on the phone for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Well, yes, the people, it's Jim Bruton who has interviewed, and Tom Briggs who's written a book, but he tells a lot of good information. So we'll wrap this up for right now.
Okay.
We'll share information, and we will definitely stay in touch.
Okay.
I don't know if I get to Delaware, but
That's
maybe
okay.
maybe
we
we find a way to go. But anyway, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it so much. It's just a pleasure, like I say, to get to meet you in person, and these stories are super important. All right, well, thank you.
Have a good trip back home.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We